So I'm going to look at the new technique first. So the page I've sent you has got, starts with 9 and 10 and then 11 on this page. So we're going to look at 9A and 9B, slurs and staccato, built on the chord and scale. It's a big title. Okay, so starting on middle C with the thumb in the right hand, you've had before slurs in paired notes, and we've done this before and it's written on this music already, that the second note that the slur goes to, we automatically make it slightly shorter and lighter or quieter, so that you lean a bit more on the first note of the slur, because it's on the first beat of the bar and we tend to emphasize that slightly. The second beat is the weaker beat in the bar, so we tend to make less of that. So I'm just going to play the first 3 bars, then both staccato, then another slurred pair. Okay, now there's also some other writing, if you can see on this page. It says arpeggio spacing. Now at the moment you are playing broken chords, okay, which is based on fairly condensed chords. They're quite small chords, okay. Probably very soon now we will go on to the next stage of chord playing, which is that word arpeggio. Okay, and it's a bigger chord because it's based over 4 notes, so the bottom note is just doubled in the octave there. So I have to spread my fingers a lot more apart than I do for broken chords. So that is the first 3 bars there. I've got C, E, G and C, and the fingering over the top is what I'm using on those notes. Now, if it's too much of a stretch, don't worry about it, because you're not being asked to play it as a chord. So, actually my hand gets a bit stiff these days. So, as long as you've got the first 2 notes, the 2 and the 3rd fingers on their notes there, you can stretch to the octave when you approach it. Okay? So we will, as I say, very soon now move on to arpeggios, and with the arpeggio as part of your scales and etc., it's played like this. You turn the thumb under, usually over 2 octaves, coming over. So very different to a broken chord, but arpeggios then continue through grades 2 to 8. Just increasing the number of octaves and the different keys that you do. So that pattern, you will be with that for a long time. Okay, so we've done the first 3 bars. Then we have a scale, because it says it's built on a chord and a scale. So we have a bit of a scale coming down, starting on the B. Well, it starts on the C and then continues there. So now I've got to the thumb on my F, and I need to put my 3rd finger over, just like I do in a C major scale. But it doesn't go on to finish the scale. It does a little bit of an ending here, staccato there, short notes there, another slur pair and a C. So it's sort of nice and neat and tidy ending to that little exercise. So I'll play the whole of that through again. So I'm starting with my 3 fingers particularly spread apart in the right place. You might want on your music to write, on those 4 quavers that are coming down, you might want to put the number 1 for the thumb on the F, just so that you know you've then got to put the finger over. It's up to you. Just listen to the timing though. It's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, then 1 and 2 and, because you go into quavers there. So be careful with the rhythm. Then the left hand is doing an arpeggio again, but it's going down the arpeggio. Okay, so some do find this more difficult. It's sort of a less natural feel, the way the fingers are spread apart. So I'm just going to again concentrate on the first 3 fingers, the thumb, the 2nd finger and the 4th finger. I'm not going to worry about spreading the whole octave. So my thumb is on G, my 2nd finger goes what did I say? My thumb is on C. My second finger goes to G. That's a slurred pair. Then staccato C. That's an E with a 4. Then the octave. Okay, so if I do play the chord, it's these 2 fingers here, especially that 4th finger. Don't be tempted to use the 3rd finger because it makes the stretch there. You can see the shape of my hand, hopefully. It doesn't just look right. If I put the 4th finger back in again, the hand looks a bit more comfortable, but it doesn't feel necessarily comfortable to start with. So it takes a little bit of getting used to with that spread. Okay, then I'm coming up the scale. And again, I get to my thumb, then the finger goes over like it would in a scale to A, but then it doesn't continue with a scale. It's just a little pattern to finish it off. And spread out here, down to C. So the ending of that and the ending of the left hand actually don't follow exactly the same pattern. Okay, so don't worry about that. So yeah, the arpeggio in the left hand, they are going down in this exercise, although not all the way down there. But usually you'd start from the bottom and come up and then go down. Okay, so that's the arpeggio, so we will learn that soon. So yeah, hopefully you'll be okay with those 2.